Joey Logano was on fire in Chicago, but not in a good way. And no, it wasn't his engine smoking. It was him. Boiling mad, red in the face, and ready to throw down after what he says was a dirty move by Ross Chastain. Another race-ending controversy for Logano? He just doesn't get to play nicely, does he? Let me explain how it all went down. It was the final stretch of the Chicago street race. The pack was tight, the turns were sharper than ever, and every driver knew one mistake could ruin it all. Then came lap 63, turn 1. Chaos and controversy exploded with Logano as the vocal point. Ross Chastain slammed into the tire barriers. Cars behind him had no room to breathe. They pushed, shoved, and scrambled to get through. Logano, driving the number 22 Ford, was right there in the mix. He wasn't the cause of the pileup, far from it. He was a victim of the mess, just trying to keep his car in one piece. But then, like something out of a video game revenge scene, Chastain came back onto the track, locked eyes on Logano, and dove straight into him in turn 2. The hit wasn't just a bump. It sent Logano spinning. It wrecked Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 8's day. It turned an already wild race into a straight-up battlefield. On the radio, Joey Logano let it all out. "Ross better get the freaking information right before he goes and wrecks somebody," he shouted. "There's 6 cars behind me wrecking into me, and then he destroys me from 4 cars back. That guy." He was furious. Not confused, not unsure. Furious. And he had every reason to be. After the race, Logano didn't go to his hauler. He didn't cool off. He walked straight to Ross Chastain and let him have it. We don't know every word that was said, but we do know this. Logano later told Fox Sports that Chastain admitted to wrecking him on purpose. "He admitted it," Logano said, "which means he should get fined. That's not okay." That's not a small claim. In NASCAR, saying someone admitted to crashing you on purpose is like lighting a match in a gas station. You're calling out not just a fellow driver, but a code of honor. This wasn't the first time these two have clashed. They already had run-ins earlier this season, at COTA, at Martinsville, and now, here in Chicago. Logano summed it up with 4 words: "I'm just over it." Ross Chastain, for his part, hasn't said much publicly about the hit. But let's talk about the why. Why would Chastain go after Logano? Well, after getting smashed into the tire barriers on that turn 1 restart, Chastain was clearly looking for someone to blame. He must have thought it was Logano who caused the crash. Only problem? It wasn't. Multiple drivers were involved in that chaos. Chastain wasn't just tagged by one car. He got caught in a storm of metal and speed. And according to NASCAR insiders, there was no call from Chastain's team saying Logano was at fault. Chastain acted on his own. So what does that mean? It means Ross Chastain, the so-called Melon Man, lost his cool and took out the wrong driver. Stenhouse, another victim of the spin, made his feelings known in a funny but pointed way. He posted a video online of a watermelon getting smashed, a not-so-subtle jab at Chastain's farming roots. But Joey Logano? He didn't joke. He didn't laugh. He stood there in the middle of pit road, looking Chastain in the eye, demanding answers. And when he got them, it only made him angrier. "Typical Ross," he said. "He just sees red and does dumb stuff." That's not a light insult. That's a direct shot at how Chastain drives, how he races, and how little he thinks before acting. What makes this more intense is that both these drivers are known for racing hard. Neither of them backs down. And when 2 bulldozers go head-to-head, you don't get a winner. You get wreckage. And this time, the wreckage was Joey Logano's trust, his race, and his patience. Let's answer that question. So far, NASCAR has said nothing. No fines, no penalties, no suspension, nothing. And Joey Logano isn't exactly thrilled about that. You wreck someone on purpose and admit it? That usually means you're in trouble. But in this case, Chastain walked away with a 10th place finish, no punishment, and a smirk. Meanwhile, Logano was left cleaning up the mess, literally and emotionally. You could hear the disbelief in his voice when he spoke to reporters. He admitted he did it on purpose, Logano said again, as if repeating it might make the league finally take notice. How is that okay? And that's the bigger issue. This isn't just about one race in Chicago. It's about a pattern. A growing frustration in the garage that Ross Chastain keeps getting into wrecks and somehow keeps getting away with it. They call him the Melon Man because of his watermelon farming background. But on Sundays, he's more like a bowling ball. One hit, and pins go flying. Some fans love that. They say he races hard, that he's old school. Others, they say he crosses the line too often. Joey Logano has always been known as a tough driver himself. He's no angel. But even he's starting to wonder where NASCAR draws the line. Because if you can just take someone out and face no consequences, what kind of message does that send? Especially when it happens on a street course, where drivers already face tight corners, blind turns, and concrete walls with no forgiveness. Add personal revenge to that mix? You're not racing, you're hunting. And Logano knows that all too well now. He finished 11th, one spot behind Chastain. But it wasn't the position that stung, it was the way he got there. NASCAR says they'll review everything, but fans have seen this movie before. Words, promises, then the next race comes and nothing changes. So what's next? Will Logano try to get even? Will NASCAR finally step in? Or will Chastain just keep doing what he's doing, crashing his way into headlines and the top 10? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. This feud is far from over. And when the green flag drops again, everyone will be watching. Not just for the race, but for the payback. So let us ask you, NASCAR fans, should Ross Chastain be fined for what happened in Chicago? Or did Joey Logano just get a taste of his own medicine? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is just getting started. This isn't just a dust-up between drivers, it's a warning shot. When emotions boil over and rivalries go unchecked, the sport shifts. NASCAR has always been a battlefield, but when drivers start playing judge, jury, and wrecker, the rules don't just bend, they snap. Joey Logano demanded justice, Ross Chastain delivered chaos, and NASCAR, silent. So what does that say to the rest of the grid? That payback is fair game? That intentional wrecks are just part of the show? Fans are split. Some want the drama, the action, the edge-of-your-seat moments. But others want fairness, respect, a code. Right now, that code is cracking. One thing is certain, next time these two line up on the grid, it won't just be about winning, it'll be about pride, about memory, about who hits first and who hits hardest. Logano versus Chastain is no longer just a feud. It's a storm waiting to break. So buckle up, the season isn't over. And if Chicago was the match, the next race might be the fire. What do you think? Is NASCAR doing enough to keep things under control? Or are they letting the drivers write their own rules? Let us know. Because the drama, it's just getting started.